everyone, welcome back to Singularity. So I have been playing this for a bit off camera, because I wanted to get more done with the fungus, and I've got quite a lot. First of all, look at how cool this area is now. I love it. Also, I realized earlier that when this first gets a new thing to it, it kind of like spins like this. And it kind of reminds me of how Verity looks a little bit. But yeah, I've got a lot more things here. They're very cool and I love them. And I also have a lot more going on here, as you can see, compared to the last time. Including, I have gotten through all but 3 of the goals, and I have 2 of the badges here. So there's 4.5 hours left of this. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna get everything, which is totally fine with me. I'm just happy with the progress that I have. I also have a lot more of all of these things, but I also, because I have spent so much time working on this, I have a lot of things that I need to read, because there's a lot of things that I got here. So the first one is symbiosis. Symbiosis is a mutually beneficial partnership between 2 organisms. Fungi are one of the most versatile symbionts on Earth, pairing with members of almost every other kingdom. Fungi form symbiotic relationships with algae, however you pronounce it. I know people who pronounce it both ways. My dad studied it and he says algae. I think algae is fun, though. Plants, insects, and even humans. And then we have, I'm trying to go in order of what I got these in, so where is the next one? Growth, it's over here, okay. Fungi are made up of long cylindrical filaments called hyphae, maybe? They expand by branching, sprouting new growths off of an existing hypha to create huge networks with many connections. And then I got life and death. Fungi usher the dead into the next world, dissolving the body and returning it to the earth. Everything that lives is made of everything that has ever died. All of us are entwined together. Very existential there. And then I have fungi of the forest. Deep in the soil, a wood wide web of fungi connects the inhabitants of the forest. How do plants and fungi work together? And then mycorrhiza. I don't know how to say this one at all. There's so many R's in this word. A mycorrhiza is a symbiotic relationship between a fungus and a plant. The fungus connects with a plant through its root network, enriching the soil with nutrients and helping the plant survive tough conditions. Very cool. And then I got... Where is it? Here it is. Okay. Mycelial network. Fungi connect to each other through large, complex networks of hyphae. Maybe. Again, I don't know how to pronounce that. This mass, called the mycelium, can also mingle with plant roots, binding fungi and flora together. Organisms intertwined through the mycelial network can even communicate using chemicals and electrical signals. Okay, and then we had decomposition. Fungi break dead organisms down into useful nutrients. Some are consumed by the fungus and some are returned to the soil to help feed plants and animals. And then I got defense alert, which is The mycelial networks of the forest form an organic information superhighway. When a broad bean plant is being eaten by aphids, it can send signals through the network to raise an alarm. Warned of the attack, neighboring plants release chemicals that attract wasps to prey on the aphids. That is actually very cool. I like that a lot. Okay. And then fungal burial. Environmentally conscious individuals may wish to forego a coffin when they die. Instead, they might opt for a mushroom burial suit made from cotton and fungal spores. This method decomposes the body quickly and with little harm to the environment. That is very cool. I like that. Okay, domesticated fungi. Humans have learned to harness fungi for many uses, some ancient and some modern innovations. What can fungi do for us? Building material. Oh, interesting. Mycelium is extremely strong. When dried, it is very durable, resistant to water, fire, and mold. Bricks made from sustainable mycelium are an experimental alternative to traditional building materials like concrete or wood. That is really interesting. I had no idea they were trying to build things out of fungi. Okay, pesticides. Toxic or parasitic fungi that target insects in the wild can be put to use as, oh my gosh, as biopesticide. Once the spores of these mushrooms land on an insect and infect it, they start growing from the inside out until the pest is destroyed. Okay, medicine. Fungi have been used in traditional medicine for thousands of years, but scientists are only beginning to understand the mechanisms that make them useful. Some fungi are used in cancer treatment, some can lower cholesterol, and some are immunosuppressants. All right. Next we have tasty fungi. Okay. Whether you chomp into a portobello or nibble on a nice blue cheese, you're probably a fan of fungal foods. I hate blue cheese. Where can we find fungi in the pantry and fridge? In my family, we get like the baby Bella mushrooms for things where we cook with mushrooms. Anyway, edible mushrooms. Speaking of that, edible mushrooms are a common ingredient in cuisine all over the world, from portobellos to maitakes, oysters to enokis. Mushrooms are eaten on pizzas, in soups and stews, and on their own. Okay. Truffles. Truffles have long been praised for their strong fragrance and rich flavor. Rare and difficult to find, they grow underground and must be sniffed out by trained dogs or pigs. We know all about that from Stardew Valley. They fetch high prices on the culinary market. Alright, and then we have yeast. Yeasts are an ancient family of single-celled fungi that reproduce through budding. Some species of yeast are beneficial, aiding in processes like fermentation. Others are pathogens that can cause infections, like the insidious Candida. Maybe. Possibly. That's how you pronounce it. Alright. Bread. Given a mix of water and flour to feed on, yeasts convert sugars into ethanol and carbon dioxide bubbles that make bread dough light and puffy. This rising process is the key to baking many types of bread. The earliest records of this technique are from ancient Egypt. Oh, that's longer ago than I thought. Okay. Under oxygen-free conditions, yeasts and bacteria can convert carbohydrates to alcohols or other organic compounds. Humans have been harnessing this process to make bread, cheese, pickles, and alcoholic beverages for over 13,000 years. That's a long time. Okay, and then I got the perfect slice. The perfect slice of pizza wouldn't exist without fungi, yeast to raise the dough and ripen the cheese, and a nice topping of button mushrooms. Yum. My sister hates mushrooms. Alright, and then the last one that I have is cheese ripening so far. Hopefully I get more. While most cheese is cured using bacteria, yeast can also be an important ingredient in the ripening process. Cheeses like Limburger, Camembert, and Buffalo mozzarella use yeasts to achieve their distinctive texture and flavor. I don't think I've ever eaten any of those. I really like specific types of cheese, but I'm also very picky about certain foods. Cosmos really likes cheese too, and so now I've been cooking with it a lot more, and just in like the past couple weeks I've been using cheese almost every day, and he always wants it. If I get it out, he's always like, I will eat that for you, thank you. So he's been getting a little bit on his food. Alright, I have a lot of things that I need to unlock here, so... Okay, first things first. Cartilaginous skeleton. Also, I will say, so I have been playing the fungus one, but I haven't done any upgrading to... Okay, actually I did do a little bit of upgrading here, but I haven't done any upgrading to Beyond or Mesozoic. And for the most part, I didn't buy any of these new upgrade things, I just got more of these things that I already have. So, starting here first, cartilaginous skeleton. Some aquatic animals, such as sharks and rays, have skeletons made of cartilage instead of bone. This means that they are more durable, flexible, and buoyant. Alright, and then hibernation. Hibernation is the ability of many animals to enter a state of unconsciousness for prolonged periods of time so as to better survive in harsh conditions. Most animals go into hibernation so that they can sleep through the long winter. And then... Ooh, sharky things. I don't have enough for that yet, but I'm gonna do tough skin. Lizards have tough, leathery skin covered in scales, which enables them to survive in harsh environments, such as the desert. They regularly shed their skin as they grow. Alright. Replaceable teeth. Sharks have teeth that grow in many rows at a time and are replaced whenever one breaks or falls out. Some sharks lose 30,000 teeth or more in their lifetimes. That is very many teeth. Oh, leopard shark! I want that. Alright. I don't think I have those yet. Possibly. Those are cool. Okay. Then I have things over here that I need to do. So, mind upload. A mind can be saved, copied, pasted. Memories can be inserted, removed, created. Consciousness has been quantified. That? Okay, that was a noise. The human mind can be saved, copied, uploaded to the cloud. Memories can be inserted and removed. The human body is obsolete, and consciousness can be quantified. What happens to the human spirit if the singularity is achieved? Oh, this is interesting, because this game is called Cell to Singularity. I feel like this is gonna... Okay. I don't know what that means for this, but alright. Okay. Self-assembly. Spontaneous organization at the atomic level. Humankind now directs the power to reshape matter from perfect materials to nanoviruses designed in research laboratories. It's making that noise again. Why is it making that noise? Has it always made that noise? Anyway. Machines can build and organize at the atomic level. Humankind can reshape matter, creating the building blocks for life in laboratories. Is the world prepared for this bright future? Something's going on, because it didn't used to have these pop-ups after the fact. I don't know what's happening. Also, before I do more of that, I do want to get these, however many I can. Okay. Now, AI, true artificial intelligence, has been achieved. A thinking machine with a hint of free will, beyond the intelligence of animals smarter than humans. Who will they serve, and what do they desire? It made that noise again. The first true artificial intelligences are thinking machines capable of free will. Who will they serve, humans or themselves? Oh, this is Singularity. That's new. Okay. I'm assuming that certain of these are what gets Singularity. Okay. Interesting. Well, I want Rover because that's a new one that I got, but I wanted to wait until I was actually recording. Yes. Oh, yes, Mars rover, I'm assuming, because this looks Mars-ish, and that's where a lot of our rovers are, and also this now has a little rocket thing. Okay, and then Singularity. Ooh. Oh. Oh, okay, hang on. I want... It says Mesozoic Valley progress will not be affected. But does that mean that Beyond and my fungi will be affected? That's the question. I'm not gonna get it yet. Until... What is this? I don't know. I'm not getting the Singularity. Just... Oh, Olympus Mons. Okay, I was talking about this before. Okay. Also... In case you noticed, I am caffeinated right now. So I'm very high energy, but also that means that I'm thinking way faster than I can talk. I am going to wait for Singularity until I finish Beyond and my fungi, so that I can start at the beginning in case those things get reset. Because if they get reset, what is this? I don't know. If they get reset, I want to not lose progress, especially because right now in Beyond, I know I didn't finish the stuff I was doing there, but in Beyond I have this thing of get so many Stardust that is also save that Stardust, not just have it. So because of that, I really need to not lose my progress right now. Ooh, new thing for Enceladus. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of ironic because I was actually talking about how I am with caffeine in a video recently here for this game. But yeah, I'm caffeinated right now. Okay, the E-ring is the widest and outermost ring of Saturn. Enceladus orbits inside this ring, and plumes of material from the moon may be a main source of the particulates that form the ring itself. Yeah. Okay. Titan, Venus, and Enceladus. Okay. Yeah, so basically the reason I'm caffeinated right now is because as of recording this, I know this video is going to be actually published sometime during the summer for me, but as of right now, it is the middle of like the last couple of weeks of school. And so because of that, I am trying to flip my schedule because I I've kind of completely messed it up, and I'm now almost completely nocturnal, and so tomorrow, my class is basically doing a thing where we're going to... Oh, what is this? We're going to watch the seniors present their capstone projects for that major. And so what my teacher said is if you go earlier in the morning, you can leave earlier if you want to get done with things earlier. And so I think I've decided I'm just gonna stay up all night. I have an assignment to work on anyway and this to do, so I'm staying up all night, and then I am seeing about... Oh, I get so much from Saturn. I need Saturn to finish. Yeah, so I'm going to stay up all night, and then after that I will use the weekend to kind of try and get my schedule a little bit back to something that resembles a schedule for the last, like, week or so of school. Yeah. So I think that's gonna work. But just in case, I did have caffeine, and I was talking in another video I did of this recently about how that's a gamble with me, because the way caffeine affects me never is consistent one way or the other. And so it turns out that it is affecting me right now, and I am a little bit hyperactive right now, because not only did I have a coffee drink, I also had a caffeinated carbonated drink. So that's what I've got going on. That's why I seem super high energy and talking really fast, and also probably a little bit more distracted than sometimes. But alright. I love getting these guys all at once. Oh, that's a new thing. Wait a second. Yes! Finally! This took way longer than I feel like it should have. Okay, rapid tooth replacement. With huge appetites to fuel their massive size, sauropods' broad, blunt teeth would be lost and regrow quickly to compensate for wear and tear. Ironically, I just got that for sharks too. Okay. And then mobile neck. I have already read that one. Let's see. Now that this is automated, I can rank it up without feeling like I'm wasting my time because I have to click it every single time. Yes, perfect, okay. Alright. This one I still have to click every time. Nah. Okay. This is actually going way faster than I thought. Honestly, if it was this one that might... Ooh, flippers. Nice. If it was... Flippers are new. Okay. Like their Archosaur ancestors, plesiosaurs retained their four-limbed structure. However, these legs evolved into broad, flat flippers that were used to propel their bodies through the water. Okay. And I might as well upgrade the other one for that as well, which I have read before. Ooh, now it goes very fast. Yay! But I was going to say, if it was this one that was the one that would get reset, possibly, compared to, Beyond, and possibly also the fungus one, I would probably try to do Singularity right now, just because I'm curious about it, and this one I feel like it resets so often that it's kind of like, eh. But Beyond takes so long compared to this one that I don't want to do anything that could risk it right now when I've spent so much time on it already. So that is sort of my mentality about that right now. I am very curious about Singularity though, because that is in the name of this game, and I want to know what that does, and based on how this one worked, because I actually mentioned before how it was interesting that this one and Beyond reset, but the primary doesn't. So it seems like Singularity is it seems like Singularity is the way that that resets. So I am very, very curious about that, but I really don't want to, especially my fungus, I don't want to risk anything happening to that. So unfortunately, I will have to wait for that, but I am very, very curious. Yeah, I want to try and get blue cheese. I don't think I will be able to get these ones just because there are only 4 hours left. But oh, this is so interesting. I'm so curious about the whole Singularity thing. I need to work on Jupiter because of this, this one I can finish right now, actually. And then trying to see which ones I can probably get sooner. So many of these are so expensive now. I also, though, I get so many per click now, too. Okay. I want to work on Enceladus because of just the sheer amount that it gives, but also I want to get it so that it's giving more, because it does go pretty fast, but also because of this, then I could finish it, but also I need to do Saturn, because Saturn, I need to rank it up anyway, but it also gives so much, but it takes so long, so the more that I can do with it, the better. But then there's also Mercury and the Sun. There's so many to do. I guess I'll do Mercury a little bit, because it's not super expensive. Like, it is, but compared to some of these other things, not as much. It doesn't give very much either, so that is the issue there. This one is actually very cheap compared to that. It's going to not be, but for now. Oh, everything is so expensive in this one. It takes so long, but I also love it so much. Alright, Europa I need to do just on its own. Cosmos is snoring. Yeah, I'll work on Europa. Because why not? And also it goes fast, so it's a good one to level up more. Perfect. Love it when these outer ones do that. And Callisto and Europa both are very necessary to do this. Yay! This is so satisfying, I love it. Oh, another thing is I have these trophies, I guess is what they're called. And I really hope that Singularity doesn't reset those, because I worked so hard to get the whatever these things are called to get them. Ooh. I want that, but I need the things for space. They have Voyager 1 right now, which looks so cool, but also it's expensive in a different way, and also it is one that needs Oort cloud objects, which I definitely do not have those yet. So I think I will be waiting on those, but I can rank up Saturn, which is nice because it's gonna finish pretty soon. And then I'll get a lot from that, so I'm looking forward to that. I have to save so much Stardust. I think that that's definitely gonna take me the longest out of anything on this one. Because it isn't just that I have to earn that much, it's that I have to have that much at one time, which is, that's a bit of a stretch, just considering how much I have right now and how it doesn't even show any progress bar because I just need so much. So that is a bit of an issue, but I'll get it done eventually, and after that I will see what this Singularity thing is. Cosmos is just hanging out down here snoring again. Ironic that his name is Cosmos, considering what I'm doing here. It's funny though because he knows his name, and so sometimes when I've been playing this game and I'll mention Cosmos as a word in one of the descriptions, he'll kind of wake up a little bit and be like, huh? What? Me? Alright, I think that, I think Saturn might have just finished. Yeah. Alright. Back to this. Oh, I should go back to Beyond and actually finish what I was doing there before I went to go look at... Did I just say Beyond? I need to go back to Primary and finish what I was doing there before I got distracted by going to look at Beyond and talk about things there. Also... Whoa, wait a second. This, though, that is not to scale, but Mars is here now. That's new. Also, which of these is clickable? I don't know if either of these are clickable. Also, there's like a satellite around Earth now, which has been there, I think, for like one or two videos so far. But it's new and it's cool. Okay. Let's see what I want to do. Oh, there's so many options. Okay. Let's start with cheapest ones, I guess. So 3D printing. 3D printing is the process by which material is joined into a solid form under computer control to create a three-dimensional object. I learned about doing that in my stagecraft class. DNA storage is the process of encoding and decoding binary data to and from synthesized DNA strands. And then we have self-driving car, a vehicle that can automate the act of driving, making long journeys without a human behind the wheel. Alright. Next we have virtual reality, an interactive computer-generated environment that uses sensory feedback to make the experience feel immersive for the user. Lose yourself. Interesting advice there. Okay, relativity. Albert Einstein theorized that the speed of light is experienced the same by all humans, but the way that we experience the speed of time itself varies depending on different factors. Interesting way to put that. Okay. Screw. The last simple machine invented is a large cylinder that with threads in the shape of a helix or spiral. Rotate the cylinder and the threads trap water and move it forward, irrigating crops. The screw will transform building, food prep, manufacturing, and more. The thing about irrigating is very interesting with that. Okay, crank. A handle turns a rotating shaft, easing laborious chores, spinning fibers and reeling the yarn, processing grain, bellowing a forge, raising buckets of a well, grinding stone. A hand-cranked drill can even bore a tiny hole in the skull for surgery. That's not what I've used hand drills for, but that is a good thing too. No. Okay, Olympus Mons, 2.5 times taller than Mount Everest. Olympus Mons is a massive volcano on the surface of Mars. It is the largest currently known volcano in the solar system. That was not in the description. I added that as a fact that I happen to know. Okay, ice deposits. All water on the uninhabited Mars consists of ice frozen underneath the surface, though evidence suggests that it used to flow freely. And next we have a crossbow, which is so far back from Mars rovers, but okay. A bow mounted on a stable base is deadlier in range, power, and precision than a handheld bow and arrow. A trigger holds the bowstring in extreme tension and then releases it, propelling a bolt at a snappy speed. Crossbows alter warfare tactics and armor. I think regular archery is more fun. Okay. Fire lance. The first proto-guns, invented in China in the 10th century CE, these consisted of a hollow tube, usually bamboo, filled with gunpowder and strapped to a spear. Think of it as a single-use flamethrower bayonet. Interesting. Okay. Musket. By igniting propellant and expelling the exhaust in one direction, we can launch a vessel forward. When that vessel is a projectile, the danger of going to war increases exponentially. Yeah, that seems like it would do it. Okay, now, I have these and I stopped them all at 98 because I want to get them to their checkpoints. I am going to get a bit more rover here. But, I can get information age to 25 here. So that is, the World Wide Web. As of October 2018, there are more than 1.9 billion websites on the internet. That doesn't surprise me. Okay. I can also get emergent age to 25, so that is data analyze this. Machine learning is a method of data analysis that automates analytical model building. It is a stepping stone to modern AI. And then I will go down to the beginning and start getting these to 100. So for Stone Age, back in black, evidence of the bacterium Yersinia pestis, responsible for the Black Death plague of the 14th century, has been found in skeletons dating back to the Stone Age. That's very interesting. I'm curious how exactly they found that. That would be interesting to see how they, like, sampled that. Anyway, once the Stone Age was thought of as a single period of time, this is for Neolithic ages, but over the years, historians have refined the era, separating it into 3 ages: Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic. Alright, Bronze Age. Walk-in in Memphis. The ancient Egyptian city of Memphis was the largest city of the Bronze Age and was the capital of Egypt for 8 dynasties. That's a lot of dynasties. Alright, Iron Age. Bogged down. Preserved mummies dating back to the Iron Age have been found in many bogs throughout northern Europe. It is thought that these bog bodies may have been human sacrifices. Middle Ages. Please, sir, can I have some more? For the better part of 6 centuries, the Iberian Peninsula, modern-day Spain and Portugal, was ruled by the Moors, a diverse group that included North Africans, Arabians, and European-born Muslims. Okay. Age of Discovery. We have going viral. Smallpox, a systematic disease which was brought to the Americas by European colonizers in the 1400s, is thought to have killed 90% of all indigenous American peoples. It was eradicated in 1979 through the use of vaccination. We learned about that recently in the virus thing. Scientific Revolution. Okay. Hooked on a microfeeling. In 1664, the first ever microscope was invented by Robert Hooke. This opened up the world of microscopic organisms to human observation. Alright, and I did get Industrial Revolution there. Smash the establishment. The Luddites were a group of traditional textile workers who felt threatened by the Industrial Revolution and would perform radical actions of protest, such as smashing textile machinery. Interesting. Yeah, the rest I cannot get to that level to get new things yet, but that is okay. I will get more human. Here we go. This feels like it's gonna be so much work to restart. There's a leopard shark though, and it's cute, and I like it. Oh, I can get things here though. There's more things. Okay. Let's do that then. Some of these are cheap. Okay, tribalism. Humans naturally organize themselves into tribes. Many other animals do this too, but humans bring community organization to a much more complex level. Silk. Made in China and only China for a millennium, silk is the product of silkworms. These moth pupae wrap their bodies in a single thread cocoon that, when unraveled, stretches a mile. Every pound of yarn requires threads from 2,500 cocoons. I have raised silkworms several times. They're very fun. Alright. I'll do colonialism, I guess. Even though it's the most expensive right now. Colonialism is a system where one country decides to extend its rule over another country or territory. Okay, fired brick. Kilns allow brick technology to spread to cool climates where sunbaking is less effective. In China, early fired bricks, bright red in color, provide durable flooring for houses, roads, walls, and chimneys come later. Engineering. Building machines and massive structures like pyramids and cities requires the ability to apply science and math precisely to solve problems. Early engineers like Hero of Alexander and Amenhotep, maybe, of Egypt draw up schematics that will survive millennia. Okay, gears. An early mechanical advancement, gears combine multiple interlocking wheels to make our machines and tools more powerful than ever before. Geometry. Our understanding of the world around us grows to include knowledge of volumes, shapes, and sizes. Without geometry, we'd never have been able to create better, bigger, and stronger buildings. And finally, illuminated manuscripts. Humans are naturally inclined to share information with each other. Illuminated manuscripts are books featuring beautiful, intricate illustrations, truly one of the most lovely ways to fulfill our need to disseminate knowledge. Alright. I want to get pulley because I'm actually very close to getting it. Alright. Pulley. A rope suspended on a wheel reduces the force needed to lift heavy objects. The more ropes and wheels applied, the easier to lift. Pulleys are crucial to the construction of massive structures and transport of goods and materials. They are also used in theater to run the fly system, which is very fun but also very dangerous if you don't do it safely. Alright. I will go see Beyond again. So much. I love it. Okay. Well, first I have this to get. So, the one that I think is going to give me... Okay. Titan, Venus, and Enceladus. And then I think that... Trying to figure out what this thing that Europa is needed for gives me. So I should probably work on those then. So, Titan... Okay. I do need to do Europa, though. I don't know if I can get... Because I think... That actually might be dark matter. I'm not sure. It's... I haven't quite figured out what some of these symbols mean. Possibly. I'm not sure. I don't know if they're going to include a moon for this one. If they are, I think that would be a moon. But if... That does seem a little bit weird, because I don't know if it can be. It might just be dark matter, because I feel like... Yeah, it is actually the same symbol as dark matter. I think that's just dark matter. I was gonna say, because if it is another, like, celestial body, it would be weird if you got that before you got the planet itself. But no, I think that is just dark matter. Well, I will not say no to that. Dark matter is useful. Phobos. Oh, that one's maxed out. I'm curious how many levels this one can go. Because it's currently on 5, I think. Or else it's going to 6. I'm not sure how that is listed exactly, but... I want to get these finished. I want to get the next planet. Although, I will say, I know that I'm going to be irritated when I get the achievement for getting the solar system, because it's called on Steam in the list of achievements. There are only 8. Which is fine, technically, except that I love Pluto, and that's just rude. We all know Pluto isn't technically classified as a planet officially anymore. And yes, I'm gonna be bitter about it. But You don't have to rub it in Pluto's face in this game. You could let it be there and pretend. And I know all the science behind why it isn't considered a planet anymore. But like I said in another video, I do feel like one of the criteria for why it isn't a planet is, I think, shouldn't be counted against it, because it's like, oh, well, Pluto hasn't cleared its orbit because it sometimes goes inside of Neptune's orbit. But then Neptune hasn't cleared its orbit because Pluto sometimes goes in its orbit. So then kick Neptune out too. And I know Neptune is definitely not a dwarf, and I know that Neptune is also meets some other of the criteria that Pluto doesn't technically meet. However, I am still upset about it, and I think that they should put Pluto back just out of respect for the fact that they decided to let it be a planet. Also, one of the arguments I've seen for why they don't just open up more of the things that are currently classified as dwarf planets to also be called planets is because they're like, oh, but if school children have to memorize the solar system, like, they'd be memorizing, like, hundreds instead of 9 or 8. My argument to that is, I feel like very few people that I went to school with, unless they have an interest in it, could say the solar system in order right now anyway. Even with only 8. I don't think they can. I know many who can't. So, if the argument is like, oh, well then kids won't memorize. It's like, kids aren't memorizing it anyway. Some of them. I know it, but then again, I'm also an astronomy geek, so. Anyway, I don't know. That's just, I'm gonna be upset about the whole Pluto situation until I die. Also, related to that, I love books, and I, for the most part, try to treat books with so much respect. I don't like breaking the spines, I don't dog-ear the pages, I don't use, like, dirty spoons as bookmarks, all of that kind of thing. However, all of that leading up to say, I have thrown one book against the wall, and it was a book basically bragging about how Pluto got kicked out as a planet, and I was like, this is, I mean, yes, technically, but also, shut up, and I flung it against a wall, because just the smug, haha, I'm the reason Pluto got demoted attitude of this writer pissed me off so much, and so I was like, fine, I will throw you in a wall. And then I need to go back and actually read that book, because it did seem interesting, but it also made me very upset, so I haven't actually finished it yet. That is, I think, the only time I've ever thrown a book at a wall. Normally, I protect books with my life, but that one. I don't really throw things very often, in general, not just books. Unless they're meant to be thrown, but yeah, that book was very irritating. Because I feel like if it was written in a way where it was like, here are the facts about why Pluto is no longer considered a planet, and I discovered these things. Like, that would be one thing, and I would still be upset that Pluto isn't technically a planet anymore. But it would be so much better than, like, I'm the reason why Pluto is no longer a planet, and I'm so cool for being that person. It's like, stop. Just shush and stop it with your ego. I don't know. I am so petty about this whole Pluto thing. And I feel like I don't want to get into it too much here just because I know... Well, actually I don't know, but as far as I know, I think most of my audience is not consisting of astronomy nerds. Maybe. I don't know. I somehow have reached, like, over 1,750 subscribers as of when I'm recording this. Maybe some of you are astronomy geeks. I don't know. But, I have gotten into multi-hour debates with other people who are into astronomy about the Pluto topic. Alright, I will do this time. Yeah, I have gotten into intense arguments with people over Pluto. And I'm not usually very confrontational. However, when it comes to Pluto, I will defend it. I need more ammonia crystals so badly because I want Saturn to go faster, but also, it's leveled up so much now, and I really like that. Okay. I have so many things here to do. So many of these I don't need to do. I needed to do this, there it is. How many times? Oh, actually quite a lot. Don't need to do anything with Ceres for some reason. I have so little stardust compared to everything that I need. Alright, I need Venus, Titan, and Enceladus very badly. But they're all so expensive. So many things. Oh my gosh. Titan is expensive. Hopefully after Saturn finishes, I'll be able to get it. Cause that is gonna take a while. So will Enceladus. Enceladus is even more expensive, which, it's gonna take a while. At least it's only 3 compared to some of these where it's like out of 8 or out of 6 or 7 or whatever. But these guys are so expensive. Saturn's out of 5, which I guess is, oh, I want to get that while it's about to finish. Perfect. Yay. I need Saturn to go faster. It takes, ooh, yes. It takes 10 minutes right now, which is fine, but also I want it to go faster. I also want to see if I can level it up again before it finishes. This is going to be very close. Oh, I did. Perfect. Alright. But I can also now do Titan. We'll see if I can do Titan another time. I really want whatever. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Uranus because it says identify an ice giant, but the reason why I'm confused about that is that if that's this one and there's still so many more, I guess it's oh my gosh, English. I guess it's identify it and then also do some stuff with it because it's not just immediately over once I get it. But, yeah. I want all of these upgrades. I want this because I know it's gonna go so slow, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna give so much. Because if Saturn gives, well, Saturn's also ranked up, but Saturn gives a lot, so whatever that is should give even more, which will help with this whole sextillion, or however you even say whatever that number is, Stardust. Yes. Ooh, Enceladus is good for this. Ah, this is so exciting. How much does... okay. Oh, that's finished already. Okay. Oh, so many. Okay. Ah, this is so exciting. I love it when it does this. Aw. Okay. Let's see. Callisto and Europa. Vesta. Trying to figure out priorities. I think Venus, because I really want to be able to get this thing, and Venus is one of them, or one of the requirements for that, and also it's cheaper than the other requirements for that right now. So hopefully I can do that. I get so much per click though. I mean, in the scale of how expensive everything is, it isn't that much, but it's satisfying that it's so much. perfect. I should level this up because I really haven't, and also I need it to earn more. Same with Io. What the heck? Io is so low. Alright. These ones I didn't really level up much because they're not ones that I officially need to level up for anything, but now they're gonna earn so much more for me, so that's good. Okay. Callisto, I only need to rank up 4 times. Europa, I need to rank up 6 times. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go back here for now. I've been doing lots of clicking, and I feel like I should be doing the clicking on the timed thing. Alright. I'm getting closer to getting blue cheese, even though I hate blue cheese. But I know I'm not gonna be able to get alcohol. I love the little toadstools for the picture of the thing you click here. They're very cute. My grandma had a best friend. My grandma is the one who died, not her best friend. But she has a best friend who I met several times, and when I went to her house one time, she showed me her art studio because both my grandma and she are artists. And she does a ton of different mediums of art, but she does glass work, and she was showing me these really cool glass pieces that were, she has glass birds that are on little stakes that you can put in the ground, but she also has little yard toadstools, and they looked kind of like this, but made out of glass. And they were so cool. I should ask her once I finish moving all over for university, because I'm about to move again in a couple weeks of as of recording this, because I'm in a house with a 3-month lease to finish my quarter, and then I'm going home for the summer, and then I'm moving back again in the fall, and then it's chaotic. But once I'm actually settled down again after university, I want to get one of her little yard toadstools because I love them and they're adorable, and I would definitely buy one from her. They're so cool. And it was really cool to see. She showed us all of her materials, and she has a little kiln in her garage, and all of these little glass, there's a word for them. I took I can't remember what they are, but they're like the tiny little bits of glass that you sprinkle in and they make little colors and detail in the glass. It's so cool. I wish I knew how to do it. And I don't think she does glass blowing or anything like that. It's more like kiln glass work or something. I don't know exactly the process of it, but it seems really, really cool. The closest I get to anything like that is soap and candle molds so far. Mutagen, yes. Alright. Why is this one? I don't know what it is. This one just seems really slow. Maybe it's because I've restarted it so many times. And I know I've said in like every single video for the past couple that this one now seems very slow. It might just be because I have restarted it so many times, and compared to some of the others, it doesn't seem like it's changing as much. I also am earning a lot less. Like, I'm in the billions, just barely getting into the trillions, and in all of my other ones, I'm in quadrillions or more. Yeah, even the temporary one, actually. Quadrillions. Primary. Quadrillions and trillions. Technically, that one's... Yeah, trillions, but I have been in quadrillions on this one, I think. And then beyond is obviously very high. Quadrillions, quintillions. So, you know. That's what I'm dealing with these guys. So, that's why it seems so slow for the other one. Alright. I need to rank up Vesta, but I have other things I need to rank up more. How much is this gonna be? Yeah, not very much. Decisions. I want to get the Sun and Mercury finished because they are both single item requirements, so once I finish them, it's done, and I get whatever reward I get from them. But also because I just want to be done with them and work on things farther out, because they don't give very much. They move fast, the Sun especially, but other than that, they're just not super helpful compared to some of the other things, because they're only giving millions, and the others are giving way more. So I kind of just want to get them over with, get the reward from them, and then focus on the things that I actually want to be upgrading, because they're actually going to be helping me more. Get my 6 stardust that I have to save up, and also I'm sure that Mystery Planet over here, which I think I know what it is going to be very, very expensive. And then this, I don't know what it is yet, but I want these guys. I will probably get them with some of these things that I finish, so I'm curious to see what it is and which one will unlock it, but yeah, this is just a lot of Stardust that I need here. also want to finish them because I want to be able to see all of these without having to scroll around, and it will be easier to keep track of if I'm not keeping track of quite as many things. I need Saturn or something large to finish. How is that going? Oh, it's close. Also, yes, Titan! Oh, yeah. I love these outer ones when they do that. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, I don't know if that got there when that happened or after, but yay. Okay, I'm getting pretty close with the sun. So much clicking. I say this all the time, but it's kind of true. Okay, that is actually very close. Oh, kind of off topic from everything I was just talking about, but going back to achievements, now I've looked at what they are just to kind of get a sense of what certain goals in this game are. What can I level up? It looks like there's something. Oh, there is. Okay. Perfect. Yay. Anyway. On the topic of achievements for this game, one thing that I found interesting is there's an achievement for terraforming Mars. And initially I thought that was this Mars. But then I was like, how do you terraform it? This seems like you're just building the solar system, not like you're actually... Oh, yes. Not that you're actually altering any of the things that you're discovering in said solar system. And I think that it's actually... If this will load, I think it's this Mars that you terraform. Which I'm very interested to see, because now that you have this Mars with like the whole rover thing, there are things here like interplanetary spaceflight, magnetic research, and I wonder if those are ultimately going to kind of lead into ways of terraforming. Hypothetically. I feel like that's probably where that comes from. Also, this was perfect timing, because this is now available. Standardized time. When the whole world uses the same clock, it makes it easier to coordinate and communicate. I've been talking to several people in different time zones than me, and so that is definitely interesting. I do find it really interesting how some of the world uses 24-hour time and some of the world uses 12-hour time. And I know sometimes it's called military time, but I usually go by 12-hour time. But I have several friends who go by 24-hour time, and so I'm always trying to do the math of like, okay, it's 23 o'clock, so it's 11 o'clock where you are, or something like that. And it's kind of fun. And then my dad, his astronomy program that he uses to figure out the time of certain events is pretty much all counted by standard time. So he has to do the math of, not standard, what is it called? Standard time? Something. Whatever time zone England is in, he has to do the math from what that time is to his time zone by, like, subtracting or adding the number of hours to figure out what time the event is actually going to be at. And then he also has to account for daylight savings time because depending on what part of the year, I think it's either 8 or 9 hours difference. And so he has to calculate that. So that's kind of interesting. Time zones are weird. Daylight savings time is weird. Yeah, actually, I am gonna use this. Daylight savings time, I don't know what it was. This specific last time that it happened threw me off so much. And I think part of it is that I live in Oregon for university right now, which is farther north than California, obviously. And so the farther north you go in the summer, the later it gets dark. And so after daylight savings time happened, it feels like it gets dark so late, and I feel like that's actually a pretty big part of why my sleep schedule is so weird right now, because the sun is throwing me off, because it starts getting bright, like, not light, it isn't like sunrise, but you can start seeing the sky turn gray and stuff at like 5 a.m. It's not very late in the morning. It happens very early in the morning, but also then it doesn't get fully dark until like after 9 o'clock. I'll be out walking Cosmos at like 8:30 and it's still pretty light outside. And so because of that, my whole schedule is completely thrown off. Like, I'll have dinner at like 9 or 10 p.m. And then I also won't go to bed until really late. Well, today I'm not going to bed whatsoever until after my class tomorrow, but it's 3:51 a.m. right now. And I'm still feeling very caffeinated, which is probably a good sign, maybe. I'm not used to this. I very rarely drink caffeine, so who knows? Maybe I'll have to do like 6 workouts after this to kind of get some of the hyperness out, because that is happening right now. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I wasn't expecting it to affect me this much, because I was in Oregon last year too. But I think I was living in the dorms at that point, and I think that because in the dorms you have certain times that the dining hall is open and you have people that you share your dorm with who also go to bed, I was able to kind of be on a more consistent schedule. I think also that my dorm didn't, it just had a little window, so it felt darker than my whole house, which this house that I'm renting has a lot of skylights, so the brightness gets in a lot until later. But yeah, it's been affecting me so much, and it's so weird because I feel like normally, I mean, my default in general is kind of to be more nocturnal. I don't like being up in the day, and I think part of that is that one of my really big autistic sensitivities is light. Light can be very, very painful for me. And also just, there's a lot more sounds that are outside of my control in the day. There's a lot more people doing things. I currently live right next to a construction site where they're building a bunch of, like, studio apartment things, and so during work hours there's a lot of, like, construction noises, and so night is a more controllable sensory environment, I guess, so I kind of enjoy that. So my default is kind of to be nocturnal. If I didn't have to do things on a schedule, like deal with classes, and also if I wasn't interacting with people, because when I go home for the summer, I am going to try and be not entirely nocturnal, just because I want to spend time with my family and stuff like that. That's why I'm going home to visit them. But if I didn't have those reasons, I would probably be pretty much completely nocturnal. I feel like that would also throw Cosmos off a little bit, because he tends to sleep at night. He is kind of on my schedule right now, though, where he'll be active until later at night, but sometimes he'll, like, run over to me. He has a particular toy that he likes to have for bedtime, and he'll run over and, like, shove it at my leg and be like, "It's bedtime, let's go, cuddle me." So he kind of knows when he's tired, but... And that's another thing, knowing when you're tired. I feel like sometimes, because of the whole autistic thing about not really being in tune with your needs or your emotions or your physical state, I know that affects some autistic people way more than others. And I feel like I didn't really realize it was affecting me until I became aware that it was a thing. And then now I was like, oh, I kind of do relate to that. I feel like a lot of times I can't tell if I'm feeling tired. And I just recently, like in the last year, started logging water every day, because I realized that there were days where I would go like the whole day without having any water, just because I wouldn't be able to tell if I was thirsty or not. Anyway, speaking of autistic things, I hate blue cheese. It's a gross texture. It's a gross flavor. The idea of moldy cheese is gross, but I have it now. Anyway, blue cheese is a type of cheese that contains veins of mold. While the strong smell and tangy flavor can be an acquired taste, it's popular around the world. Skip. Roquefort, Gorgonzola, and Stilton are all blue cheeses. Oh, there's a mold thing now. Oh, that makes that way more. Oh, I want it. I feel like that's gonna take so long to get, but that is really makes that so much more effective. Yes, anyway, back to this whole rant. So, I feel like Cosmos would be really thrown off if I was completely nocturnal, because I guess if I was completely nocturnal, he would probably adjust to that schedule, but he likes to run outside in the day when I open the door for him, or if he has his dog door. at the houses where we've had that. And I also just feel like he would probably be okay with it. But he would probably get his walks on a completely different schedule, because now we go out in the evening kind of very shortly before. I have very rarely clicked in this one. We typically go out in the evening shortly before it gets dark. Especially because it's starting to get kind of warm here, so I don't want him going out earlier than that where he might burn his feet or just get overheated in general, because pugs specifically are pugs and that kind of dog are, similar kind of dog, are very susceptible to heat. So I try to be very aware of that for him. But, because of that, too, we go out shortly before sunset, and if I was totally nocturnal, we'd probably go out more like just after dawn, which might throw him off, but yeah, I'm curious if you have made it this far in the video. Let me know if you didn't have any societal obligations, what schedule would you be on? Would you be nocturnal? Would you be diurnal? Would you be crepuscular? I don't know. I haven't really heard of humans being very crepuscular. When I had guinea pigs, they were very crepuscular, and they would get so loud. They would get so excited at those times and just run all over, and they were in a cage, but it had like a long run kind of thing that they could get up to pretty high speed in, and they would be weaking and just running all over, popcorning, doing all the things, and just super excited. But they were also like, it would be dawn and dusk, so they would wake me up a lot at dawn to jump around and be like, why aren't you giving us lettuce right now? And I'm like, you get lettuce when I'm up. Just eat your Timothy hay. But yeah, they were very cute. Although I will say the size of their cage made maintenance really difficult, because I had to buy so much bedding for them. And I had them, part of the time I had them was during the pandemic, and when I had them, the pet store in my particular town, at least, kind of like how everyone started hoarding toilet paper, apparently people in that town all started hoarding like that paper bedding that you use in pet cages. And so it was so hard to get it for a while. Which, when you have multiple very, very energetic guinea pigs who kick it everywhere and need it replaced regularly because they just go through it so fast, that was kind of an issue. Luckily, they weren't running out of like hay or pellets or anything like that, which is interesting that everyone was hoarding the bedding but not the food. But yeah, that was definitely a chaotic time. I'm sure anyone watching this can kind of relate. Maybe not in the sense of not having enough guinea pig bedding, but just in general with the pandemic was chaotic, and there were certain things, like, I want to say this carefully, because I know that there were a lot of people who got very sick or died or were really badly affected by the pandemic, and I was too in a way. My grandma died during the pandemic, not of COVID, but my dad and I got to see her to say goodbye, but we couldn't, like, hug her or anything because of the pandemic. And so, like, I was definitely affected too, maybe not to the same level as people who lost people to COVID itself. But there are some things that I do kind of miss about that time. And I think, again, a lot of it comes from being autistic. I was able to just stay at home and kind of in my own space without having to go out and socialize. And now that that's over, the expectation is kind of like, go to class in person, go be in environments with lots of people again. And it's not to say that I don't enjoy certain activities that involve a lot of people, because I do. But there were definitely moments where I was like, I'm really happy I don't have to go out to classes and I can just stay home in my apartment and stay with Cosmos. And now he has separation anxiety because I never left him alone during the pandemic when I first got him. But I think we bonded a lot during that time. And also, I feel like that was a time where I really got to be nocturnal, back to that topic, because so many of my classes were asynchronous online that I could just do them whenever and be up all night and sleep in the day, and it was nice in that way. And not having to, like, have obligations to go out and do things in the world, which I know a lot of people really miss that. And there were definitely things that I miss, and certain things that I do now, or I'm starting to do now more, that if I had been doing them then I would have really missed. I've been getting into dancing, which I did when I was younger. It's a specific type of dance, and it's how my parents met, actually, so I've kind of grown up with it, but I hadn't done it for years, and then now I started doing it again. About a year ago, by the time this video goes up, last summer, I basically started to do it again, and it's very fun, and I would not have been able to do that during the pandemic, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a bad thing to say because of how serious the pandemic was and how negatively it did affect so many people and how many people did die. So I haven't really heard that many people being like, I miss the pandemic. And it's not that I miss the pandemic, it's that sometimes I wish I could just stay home and not have to go out around people for a little while. And now the expectation is that we all go out and be around people all the time again. And it's just like, okay, fine. I don't know. I'm trying to be very careful about how I word this, and I'm hoping it's coming across the way that I intend it to come across. I want this to be leveled up. It's very close to being leveled up. I will say certain classes that I tried to take in the pandemic were kind of maybe not the best to try and take during the pandemic. But I did anyway, so. Trying to take a language class online in the pandemic was weird because I took Japanese, and luckily I had a foundation in Japanese in high school as well. But the way that the class was set up, there were two classes that used the same textbook, and so how it was designed was you were supposed to take the first class, which taught the first half of the textbook, one semester, and then the second class that taught the second half of the textbook the second semester. And what ended up happening was the teacher for the first class decided that randomly out of nowhere she was going to change what textbook she used. And so basically in Japanese there are 3 main writing systems that we were having to learn basics of. And our first teacher said, oh, you only have to learn hiragana, you don't have to learn how to read or write katakana except for your name. And because she decided to change what textbook she was using. And there was also a lot of vocabulary that should have been in the first half of the textbook the second person was going to use, but wasn't in the textbook that she ended up using. And so we get to the second class with a different teacher who's supposed to be teaching the second half, and she's like, why can none of you read katakana? Luckily, I could because I'd taken Japanese in high school too. But there were a lot of kanji that we couldn't read that we should have learned. And then the teacher for the second class was like, well, we don't have time to go back and catch you up, so you all just have to study these on your own and like catch yourselves up. And so kind of the first teacher kind of screwed us over by how they decided to switch up the textbook. But also about the second teacher, and this is not, like, I know a lot of people were kind of thrown into having to teach online and didn't know what they were doing, and I totally understand that. I had to figure out Zoom when that stuff started too, and other programs that my classes were using and stuff, and that is not something that I know a lot of people had difficulty with that, and I'm not trying to like invalidate any of that, but this teacher, I swear, every single class had to ask how to share her screen. And it wasn't like for the first week, it was like every day we had class. She would be like, how do I share my screen again? We had like, let's see, it was 16 weeks, we met twice a week, I think, and so that was like 32 Zoom meetings, and I don't think that was the only class she taught, and she still didn't know what she was doing in terms of how to share her screen, which maybe she's just very bad at technology. I don't know. And like, but it's just like, if you're teaching a class online, you should be the teacher, not make your students spend 10 minutes of every single class teaching you how to use the computer. Which I know wasn't entirely her fault. But another issue that I had with that particular teacher was that English wasn't her first or second language. And her second language was Japanese, which was the language she was teaching. But because she was pretty much still learning English, and like, I know English is a difficult language, and it's like, it's not, I'm not trying to say that people need to be really good at English or anything like that. I can't speak English sometimes, even though it is my first language. But the problem with that was that because she was still learning English, sometimes we would ask, how do you say this in Japanese? And she wouldn't know what the English word we were asking about was. I don't know why I got onto this topic, but yeah. Yeah, it's definitely interesting how certain people, I feel like, adapted very easily to the quarantine, and certain other people hated it. I feel like I didn't like the whole situation of the world in terms of, like, this disease and kind of how people reacted to it and stuff like that, but at the same time, I was never like, oh my gosh, I'm trapped inside, I have nothing to do. Like, I would just hang out inside and do things inside, and when I went outside, I would just go on walks and stuff, and it was actually pretty nice. And then actually, partway through, after the main quarantine had stopped, I would go on walks with my friend, and it was fun because we hadn't really hung out like that in a couple of years. So anyway, this, I feel like I should have had this conversation when I was doing the whole thing about viruses and bacteria and stuff, but anyway, we're doing it now when I'm dealing with fungi. Yep. Let's see. Oh, I'm so close to 100 on this one. I want the mutagen. I need this Triceratops to get to 100. Okay. That's not what I need right now. I need only the free ones. This clicking is so slow. It's so small amounts compared to all the others. I want my mutagen from this Triceratops though, so I'm going to keep clicking, even though it's not very much. I need so much mutagen now. These things are all so expensive. I can rank up so many in terms of the fact that I have the card things for them, but they're all so expensive. Alright. Not very much, considering how much I need, but that is still better than nothing. Alright. Almost enough for this. Yay. Perfect. Alright. I can get Saturn ranked up. Oh my gosh, it's gonna earn so much now. I'm so excited about that. Okay. Titan. And hopefully once Saturn finishes I can get Enceladus more. Or the sun. Hopefully soon. I want it to be done. That kind of rhymed unintentionally. I'm tempted to click on Mercury and Venus, but I need to save up because I'm very close to being done with the sun. Which rhymes again, but this one is fun to watch the number go up because it goes up kind of steadily and then suddenly it jumps a lot and then it kind of doesn't do as much and then suddenly it gets a ton. Like once Saturn finishes, how close is Saturn? Oh, it's almost like it's at 4 and then in a couple seconds it's gonna be like 20. Yup, 23. Alright, let's see if we can finish the sun, or at least make more progress on it. Probably not finish it right now, but soon we will. Five more levels. This is possibly gonna take a little bit, but me check how much progress. Okay, Jupiter is another one that is pretty, ooh, yes, is pretty good, but I have this now, which is perfect. This is so satisfying. I love it. Okay. I should go back over here, though. There's so much to get through. The sun goes so fast. It's so fun to watch. Alright. Yeah, I'm having so much fun with this. Okay. Oh, it's over already. Hopefully I can get that done pretty soon. Or I could also afford these guys. Ooh, but should I? Sure, why not? They're more valuable at this point anyway. They give more. Already only on rank 42. Or level 42 rank is that. Callisto is at 13.7 quadrillion, and the sun, which is level 296, is only 41.43 million. So one of these is definitely better than the other in terms of how much it gives me, but I want to finish the sun very badly. But I might as well go to primary while I wait, because I think once Saturn and a few others finish, I'll be able to hopefully finish the last couple of levels for the sun. The scale of these is not right, which I've said before. I'm so curious about Singularity, but I can't get it yet, because I don't want to corrupt anything that I'm currently doing. That's not something that I want to use right now. Maybe I should get more of these guys. I know I have more little side things to get for them. I don't know what level that would be. Maybe this? Yeah, okay. So then this last one is probably gonna be 100. Okay. Peptide bonding. When you combine two common amino acids... There's a thing. Okay. Oh, it's Phobos and Deimos. That makes sense. I was wondering. Okay, it's Mars' moons. We're good. Anyway, when you combine two common amino acids, aspartic acid and phenylalanine, they create the artificial sweetener aspartame, maybe. This is commonly found in sugar-free and diet sodas. Interesting. Oh, the badges. Okay. Anyway. I'll do that with the next one then. Okay. DNA, genetic engineering. DNA was first isolated in 1869 when the Swiss Dr. Friedrich Mayscher, I don't know, noticed a microscopic substance he named nuclein left over in discarded bandages from a patient. Okay. I might actually try and get this one to 200 to see if that's the last one, or to see if there's more that needs to be done. Is it? No. So this might be like 250 or 300. Oh, I can't afford it already. Okay. That works. Leave it to Leeuwenhoek, maybe, possibly. This shooting star just went through Mars. That doesn't seem correct. Anyway, the first person to see bacteria was Antony van Leeuwenhoek, who spotted them under his newly invented microscope in 1674. I'm probably butchering a lot of these names. I've read so many names today. Alright. True or false? The word eukaryote comes from the Greek words meaning true and nut. Interesting. Startling sponge stats. The smallest sea sponges are 1 inch long. The tallest can grow to 4 feet tall. Alright. Perpetual polyps. While most jellyfish have a lifespan ranging from a few months to a year, the species Turritopsis nutricula can reverse its life cycle, transitioning between adult medusa and baby polyp at will, potentially allowing it to greatly increase its lifespan. What? That is fascinating. I have so many questions. Okay. That's cool, I guess. Good for it. Alright. Endless appetite. Tapeworms can grow to be at least 11.5 feet long and 25 years old. They can and will live in your large intestine. Please cook your meat thoroughly. Yes. Food hygiene is important. I don't know if it's called hygiene when it's talking about food. Prepare your food responsibly, I guess is what I will say. Okay. But now that that's done, I want to see the explosion of all of these guys. I love it. Oh my gosh. This is my favorite. I love the way the jelly... Oh my gosh, there's a shark! I saw it. It's right there. Leopard shark. Leopard sharks are so named because of their distinctive pattern of spots and stripes. They live in coastal regions and pose no threat to humans, who often hunt them for their meat. I have an interesting leopard shark story. I have several interesting leopard shark stories. None of them are mine, but... Well, I guess I do actually have one that's mine, but it isn't quite as interesting as the other people's stories. I need to see my turtles, because I love them. Not you. Go away, humans. No one... No one wants to see the humans. We want to see the turtles. How do I... Go away. Go away! How do I get out of that? Stop. I want these. There we go. Okay, turtles. Anyway, leopard shark stories. So the one that is my personal story is that one time at the Monterey Bay Aquarium, we saw a leopard shark eat 3 different fish from its tank that were not food. They were part of the animals that lived there. And then in the same day, we saw a sea turtle in a different tank bite a fish in half, and then like a half-bitten fish trailing guts just kind of sank down the side of the tank right next to the window. Anyway, but there's a couple of leopard shark stories that are not mine, but one is my dad's story, which is that when he was fishing once, he caught a leopard shark, and he had thought that it was dead after he caught it, and so he was holding it to, like, by the tail, and it was, I believe it was actually dead, but it had like a muscle spasm reflex and turned itself upwards and bit him. And I was not there. This happened, I think, when he was like a teenager or something. But yeah, a dead shark bit my dad. That's a weird sense. But, yeah, that did happen. And then the other story, which is, actually pretty epic. I don't know if I personally would do it, but, in a similar place to where my dad caught that shark, my dad's friend went swimming at night, and the ocean there has, a lot of phosphorescence in the water, so you can see outlines of things swimming at night in little, like, flashes and sparkles. And he was swimming at night once, and he saw the outline of a tiger shark, or not a tiger shark, a leopard shark. Those are very different, and tiger sharks are not harmless to humans. Anyway, leopard shark. Why are all these sharks named after felines? Anyway, yes, leopard shark swimming with him, and he went swimming with some leopard sharks in the night, which is interesting. I don't know if I would do that, partly just because I hate the sensory feeling of seaweed touching me in the water. It's not even that I'm worried about getting tangled in it, I just don't like how it feels. And that place where this all happened with all of these leopard sharks is got a lot of seaweed in the summer when we go there. Although, over in that area, there's also a part with a lot of this seaweed where a lot of fish, and I think possibly eels also, lay eggs on it. And you can see these, like, egg cases and stuff, and that's pretty cool. Okay. I wonder... Okay, so here's my thing that I have realized. In this particular thing, like, when you restart, all of these little card things stay leveled up to whatever they were, I think, before you restarted this particular thing. And with Mesozoic, it's the same thing. Whatever cards you have and however leveled up they are, they come back at those levels when you go to the next iteration of the simulation, I guess. That is another unintentional rhyme. So my question is, if you restart primary, which is what it seems like Singularity is, does that mean that then all of the little research thingies are also things that come back that you've already done, or do you have to re-research them all over again? I don't know. I will have to see when I do that. But I'm not prepared to do that yet, so not until this is over. Saturn goes so slow. I want it to go faster. It's okay. It will eventually finish. I'm so close to 300 for the sun. I need these larger. Well, technically they are larger in size, but also farther away. Larger in scale from the sun things to finish. The Q, maybe. Specifically Saturn. I want Saturn to finish. Alright. Yay. This one with the saving Stardust, it's still not even showing any line at all. It only showed a line when I had left this part of the simulation for several days, and also I hadn't, there's so much snoring happening under this desk. I hadn't upgraded anything, so now that's all gone because I used it all on getting things. And now I'm still not even showing any progress in that line, which is okay, but yeah. So much snoring. Saturn. It's getting closer. Investment. I want Saturn to finish. I just need to level the sun up 3 more times. It's so close. the sun is moving so fast with the circle. Oh my gosh. So much snoring. Alright, we're getting closer. I can almost level up the sun without even having Saturn finish. But I know when Saturn finishes, I'm gonna be able to level it up at least once more, if not twice. And then hopefully soon after I can level it up the last time that I need to level it. Perfect. Yes. I'm determined to get 10 more quintillion to get this last one. There's so much snoring. Hi, Cosmos. Okay, we're like halfway to getting this next upgrade, but I'm excited about it anyway. Oh, the asteroid belt finished. Oh, yes, perfect. Yeah, by just staring at the sun, I haven't been noticing those. Which I should be, because they're helpful. Alright. Getting closer. Hey, Cosmos. I'm getting closer. I'm so determined right now. Titan's about to finish. Perfect. Okay. Okay. We're getting very close. Yes. Oh, it looks cool. I love the way it subtly shifts. Like it isn't just static, it moves too. More things that I can't afford. Surface. Ooh, for Titan. And Ganymede, Earth. Okay. Yeah, Titan's thing. I don't know if Perfect. Yeah, that's new. Okay. These things are in my way of reading this. Okay, surface liquid. Many of Titan's surface features resemble Earth's. It has rivers, oceans, and a climate with seasons, rain, and other weather patterns. The hydrocarbon lakes of Titan are the first bodies of liquid found outside of Earth. Cool. And now I'm getting quite a lot more from Titan, so that's very good. I should work on leveling up that. That's very satisfying to be done with. With the sun for now. Again, that rhymes. Yay. Okay. I am pretty much going to just try and level these up a little bit more. Just whatever I can, because pretty much I'm going to finish this video pretty soon. I'm not gonna have enough time to finish all of these, but I did get 2 of the badges, which is more than I have on any other one here, I think. So honestly, I'm pretty satisfied with that. I had a lot of fun with it too. It's been very interesting, and I love the little log with all the different types on it. It looks so good. They're adorable. But yeah, I'll read mold and alcohol, even though I'm not gonna get them. Molds are multicellular colonies of fungi that grow together as a mass of thin filaments. When this telltale layer of fuzz starts growing on a food and breaking it down, a foul smell and a nasty taste follow. We call this spoilage. And then for alcohol, we have yeast is an essential ingredient in winemaking and beer brewing. Once humanity mastered fermentation, it was quickly used to produce alcohol. Jugs thought to have been used for fermenting alcohol have been found dating back to the Stone Age. Very interesting. Alright. Well, I'm gonna look at this again because it looks really cool. I love this one. I love the roots on these guys. They're so fun to look at. And these little orange ones, they look kind of like table coral from Subnautica, a little bit. the way they grow out like that. I think my lab group actually found some of these on our thing that we did looking at lichen. We found some fungi as well. We also found some poison oak. So luckily, I don't think any of us actually got poison oak, but we did have to walk around in it to do our sampling. The life of an environmental science major. But yes. Also, this purple one, it looks like kind of like Dead Man's Fingers from Strange Horticulture. Anyway, actually several of these look like things from Strange Horticulture. Oh, that game is fun. I want to play it again. I love this. This has been so much fun. I'm very satisfied with how many of these things I managed to collect, because I feel like I was able to actually get a lot done here. And I know this video has been running kind of long, but it's definitely very, very fun. But it is... Also, I said earlier it gets bright about 5 a.m. it starts getting bright, and it is right now 4:54, and it is starting to get light outside. Yeah, but I have some things that I need to get done before I go to class, and I have a video to finish editing for my class, actually, not for the channel, so I am going to end this here. I had so much fun learning about fungi. I have so many questions about Singularity when I eventually get to that, so I'm definitely looking forward to that and coming back to this. Hopefully Beyond will have earned a lot, because I really need it. Same with Mesozoic, because that one seems very slow. We'll see. I'm not sure exactly when I'll come back to this game. I know I'm going to. It's just a matter of whether it's a few days or a few, probably not hours, but I had so much fun. Hopefully you did too. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!